All right, so the article is The Power of Renewable Energy, Transforming the Future. So I'm gonna be like, oh, underline future, because this is probably about renewable energy and having to do with the future, right? Okay, now I'm gonna read the article. As the world confronts the challenges of climate change, renewable energy has emerged, that means comes out, as a beacon of hope. Renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydropower, okay, I see that, these are different renewable energies, provide sustainable alternatives to fossil fuels which contribute to environmental degradation. So I'm like, degradation, what's that? So I'm like, oh, fossil fuels are the ones that have to do with degradation. That's degrade means to break down. So that's not good, right? Fossil fuels breaking down the environment, that's not good. Okay, transitioning to renewables is not only about protecting the planet, but also about improving economies and communities worldwide. So transitioning to renewables, is that good for the environment? Yes or no? It says transitioning to renewables is not only about protecting the planet. So is protecting the planet good? Yes, protecting the planet is good. So transitioning to renewables, if you need to reread the sentence to understand, you can do that. Transitioning to renewables is not only about protecting the planet, but also, remember we did the assignment with but also about what? Improving what? Hello? Hello? Approving economy. So that sentence is telling us that transitioning to renewables, like moving toward renewables, is about two things. What's the first thing? What's the first thing it's about? Transitioning to renewables is not only, but also. Remember we did that assignment in Quill. Not only, but also. Yes, protecting the planet, but also about what?
Improving economy.
Yes, so moving toward renewable energy. And what were the renewables that we talked about in this paragraph? Renewable energy sources such as?
Solar, wind, hydropower.
Excellent. Solar, wind, and hydropower, right? Those are renewable energy sources. So far, do we understand that renewable energy sources are good or bad for the environment?
Good.
Right, so they're good for the environment. They protect the planet. They not only protect the planet, but also what? Improving economies and communities. That's good, right? Isn't that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while the transition faces obstacles, what's obstacle? What is that?
A challenge.
Like a challenge. The benefits of renewable energy make it a critical solution for the 21st century. So that sounds like it could be kind of like telling us what the article is going to be about, right? While the transition has some challenges, the benefits make it a critical, like what does critical mean? No, that's important, like very important. I think you're thinking of critical condition, right? But it's very important condition, right? Because you're hurt very bad if you're in critical condition. Okay, now, so we have information. We understand what the article is about because that's our introduction, right? Now, let's get down to the next paragraph. Raise your hand if you have any questions about the first paragraph. Does everybody understand so far renewable energy? Is renewable energy good or bad for communities? Good. And is renewable energy good or bad for jobs and economy?
Good.
Huh? Look for the evidence. What does it say about renewable energy and its effect on the community and the economies and the planet?
Reported by International Renewable Energy Agency states that renewable energy sector 12 million people worldwide.
Excellent statistics. So does that statistic mean that renewable energy is good for the planet? Yes. Good for economy? Yes. Okay, very good. Okay, look, let's go to the next paragraph. One major advantage of renewable energy is its potential to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So I would underline reduce greenhouse gas emissions because it's saying that renewable energy can reduce that. So would I assume that that's a good thing? Yeah, I would assume that's a good thing. Unlike coal or oil, so it's saying that it does this, but it's unlike coal or oil, which emit significant carbon dioxide when burned. Renewable sources like solar panels or what? Wind turbines, good, produce what? Energy without doing what? Without polluting the air. So let's make sure we understand what we've read so far in this paragraph. One major advantage of renewable energy. So I know that this paragraph is talking about a major advantage of renewable energy is its potential to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, that's good. That's an advantage. So that's good. But then when it says unlike, that lets me know that the next things are not good. What are the next things that are not good?
Coal or oil.
Good. Coal or oil, which emit what?
Significant carbon dioxide when burned. Renewable sources like solar panels or wind turbines.
Yes. Okay, so which one's better? Coal or oil or solar panels or wind turbines?
Solar panels and wind turbines.
Yeah, solar panels and wind turbines. Okay, so let's keep going. For example, so we know this example has to do with what we were just talking about. What's good for the environment, what's bad for the environment, right? So, for example, the United Nations reports that transitioning to wind and solar power could cut global carbon dioxide, that's carbon dioxide, emissions. We keep talking about emissions, right?
So that means this topic is going to be about reducing emissions.
Yes, bingo. This topic, this little area, this paragraph is going to be about what? Reducing emissions. Very good. Because emissions are good or bad for the environment? Bad. They're bad, right? It's talking about how bad they are. So let's continue with our sentence. Could cut global CO2, carbon dioxide emissions, by over 70% by 2050, right? Is that the future?
Yeah.
Because remember, we were talking about in the title, the future, right? Transforming the future, changing the future. So that means that'll be good if it can cut all those global emissions or those CO2 emissions by 2050. This reduction would slow the effects of climate change. So, okay, I see. Climate change, the effects, not so good, including extreme weather events and rising sea levels, helping to protect ecosystems and human populations alike. So that whole paragraph was about what? Yeah, reducing emissions. And reduction of emissions is what? Good or bad for the environment? Very good. It's good for the environment. Is everyone following along? You get it? When you break it down, you can understand it good. Does that help you? Raise your hand if it's kind of helping you understand. Okay, very good. Okay, let's continue. So now we're on another paragraph, so we may have another topic. Is that right? It may be another topic, so let's find out. In addition to environmental benefits, okay, so we know that that whole paragraph that we just finished is about what? Because it said in environmental benefits, because it said in addition to, that means they already told us about environmental benefits. So in addition to environmental benefits, renewable energy boosts local and global economies. So what do you think this paragraph is going to be about? Yep, creating jobs. So boost local and global economies. And we know economies, that has to do with jobs, money, right? Investing in renewable technology creates jobs in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance, right? So we're like, what does it mean? Maintenance, installation, manufacturing? What does that mean? What does that have to do with what does that have to do with anything? Creating jobs? What are those people with those jobs in manufacturing, installation, and maintenance? What are they doing? Yeah, but what are they maintaining? What are they fixing? What are they building?
They building like pipes and installation and maintenance.
Yeah, so they're installing, they're maintaining something. You think it has to do with renewable energy stuff? Like solar panels and wind turbines, maybe? Because who's going to put them up? Somebody got, right? Somebody. So those people, right? Okay, a report by the International Renewable Energy Agency states that the renewable energy sector, that's like area, employed 12 million people worldwide in 2020. That's a lot of people with jobs, right? With projections, that means they kind of see into the future. They projections suggesting even higher numbers in the coming decades. Furthermore, renewable energy reduces reliance on imported fuels, fostering energy independence and strengthening national security. So that whole little section was about what? Yeah, creating jobs. So we know that all goes together. Okay, now, are we ready for the next paragraph? Okay. Despite these advantages, some challenges, okay, so those are advantages, right? So we know the two paragraphs before are going to be about what? Yeah, and those two, are they those advantages or disadvantages? Advantages, because the paragraph starts out with, despite these advantages, some challenges hinder. What does hinder mean? Not injured, but if you're trying to go somewhere and I step in front of you to hinder your movement, trying to block you away, keep you from doing it, right? If you're absent and I don't give you any work and I say, I'm not going to tell you what we did, trying to hinder your achievement, huh? How you feel about that? Okay. I'll try not to hinder your achievement. I will try to let you know. But I want you to not hinder your own achievement by coming to school, right? Okay, so some challenges hinder the widespread adoption of renewable energy. So something's getting in the way of everybody using renewable energy. High initial costs. Oops, could that be one thing that's getting in the way? High initial costs. Costs too much. For infrastructure, like what does infrastructure make you think of? Yeah, structure, technology, yeah, how it's put together and held together to work. So then it tells us, such as wind farms, okay, that's one structure we need. Solar panels, right, can be prohibitive. So are wind farms and solar panels expensive or inexpensive? Yeah, how do we know they're expensive? Very good, because it says high initial costs for infrastructure, such as means they're giving an example. Wind farms or solar panels can be prohibitive. Moreover, that transition word, moreover, that means I got more to say about this. Moreover, renewables depend on natural conditions. That little semicolon is going to tell you what they're talking about. Solar power is less effective in cloudy regions, and wind energy requires what? Steady what? Airflow. Very good. So those are some of the things that might get in the way, like solar panels need what? Sun to get right on them, and wind turbines need what? Wind, right? If there's no wind, can you get energy from a wind turbine? Nope. If there's no sun, can you get energy from a solar panel? Nope. Okay. However, so it was telling us about the things that hinder, the bad things, but however, that transition word is like, okay, what's the other side of it? However, advancements in energy storage like batteries, okay, are addressing these issues. So what's saving the day? Yeah, batteries, because you can get that energy when it is windy, when there is sun, And where are you going to save that energy?
In the kitchen.
Huh? Where are you going to save the energy from? Like, say you have a solar panel and there's sunny one day, the sun is beaming down and you're getting energy, and then one day it's not sunny enough or the clouds are in the way. So when it was sunny, where are you going to store that energy that was produced? In the battery, right? So if you have batteries, will you be okay when it's not so sunny or not so windy one day? Because why? Why will you be? You have batteries, and what's in the batteries? Stored energy. Very good. Okay. So, like, batteries are addressing these issues, making renewable energy increasingly reliable and accessible. That means everyone can get to it. Okay, so is that whole paragraph talking about something?
Advancing technology.
Yep, advancing technologies. Now, this looks like the conclusion of the article, so let's read it. The shift in renewable energy is not just an environmental imperative. Imperative means it's very, very important. It is a comprehensive opportunity to reshape societies for the better. This looks like it could be something I could use for a thesis statement, because we're using a 3-point thesis statement, right? That means we got to say 3 different main points. Like, what's your point? What are you getting to? We got to say 3 points. By reducing emissions, does that sound like 1 point? Creating jobs, does that sound like another point? And advancing technology, does that sound like another point? Renewables can power a sustainable future. Would you use that for your thesis? Raise your hand if you would use that for your thesis. By reducing emissions, creating jobs, and advancing technology, renewables can power a sustainable future. Raise your hand if you would use that or something like that for your 3-point thesis. That's very good. If you're using something like that, you have to have 3 points that you're going to make, because in your body paragraph 1, you're going to talk about point 1. Body paragraph 2, point 2. Body paragraph 3, point 3. And then let's finish the article. Overcoming challenges through innovation and global cooperation will be essential to harnessing the full potential of these energy sources. All right, so that's the article.